My topic is advertisement to EXPAIN, and let's go to the topic start. Advertisement. To understand what an advertisement is, we must first understand what advertising is. The definition of advertising is an industry used to call the attention of the public to something, typically a product or service. The definition of advertisement is the means of communication in which a product, brand or service is promoted to a viewership in order to attract interest, engagement, and sales. Advertisements, often shortened to ads or adverts, come in many forms, from copy to interactive video, and have evolved to become a crucial feature of the app marketplace. Businesses have things to sell. In order to survive and thrive, they need to find customers who want to buy those things. Enter advertising. The earliest recorded advertisements have been found on ancient Egyptian papyrus, while modern advertising can be traced back to the invention of the printing press. When the first regular gazettes and newspapers began to be published in the 1500s, it started a revolution that ultimately evolved into the wealth of advertising channels, tools and tactics we see today. But what exactly is an advertisement? And what does the modern business owner need to know about advertising? In this article, we'll be answering those questions and more. The techniques and practices used to bring products, services, opinions, or causes to public notice for the purpose of persuading the public to respond in a certain way toward what is advertised. Most advertising involves promoting a good that is for sale, but similar methods are used to encourage people to drive safely, to support various charities, or to vote for political candidates, among many other examples. In many countries, advertising is the most important source of income for the media, for example, newspapers, magazines, or television stations, through which it is conducted. In the non-communist world, advertising has become a large and important service industry. In the ancient and medieval world, such advertising as existed was conducted by word of mouth. The first step toward modern advertising came with the development of printing in the 15th and 16th centuries. In the 17th century, weekly newspapers in London began to carry advertisements, and by the 18th century such advertising was flourishing. Advertising is the practice and techniques employed to bring attention to a product or service. Advertising aims to put a product or service in the spotlight in hopes of drawing attention from consumers. It is typically used to promote a specific good or service, but there are a wide range of uses, the most common being the commercial advertisement. Commercial advertisements often seek to generate increased consumption of their products or services through branding, which associates a product name or image with certain qualities in the minds of consumers. On the other hand, ads that intend to elicit an immediate sale are known as direct response advertising. Non-commercial entities that advertise more than consumer products or services include political parties, interest groups, religious organizations, and governmental agencies. Non-profit organizations may use free modes of persuasion, such as a public service announcement. Advertising may also help to reassure employees or shareholders that a company is viable or successful. I saw an advertisement for the new restaurant that opened in town. Many companies run advertisements in the magazine. The impression given in the advertisement is misleading. She scanned the job advertisements in the paper. She saw an advertisement asking for volunteers to take part in a study. We've been deluged with replies to our advertisement. I'm afraid I'm not a very good advertisement for the diet since I've actually put on weight. That advertisement is demeaning to women. Both men and women have complained about the advertisement. That's a very effective advertisement, it really jumps out at you. Responses to our advertisement have been disappointing. An advertisement is a paid promotional tool backed by an identified sponsor to call public attention to an offering or brand. This definition of advertisement can be divided into three parts. It's a paid promotional tool. Advertisements are paid promotional messages communicated by some mass communication media. An identified sponsor backs it. Advertisements are backed by identified sponsors called advertisers who pay to create advertising messages, buy media slots, and monitor advertising efforts. It aims to call public attention towards an offering or a brand, Advertisements are intended to inform the target audience about a particular offering or a brand or influence them to do certain tasks. In simple terms, an advertisement is a paid communication message intended to inform people about something or influence them to buy, try, or do something. Advertising is the action of calling public attention to an offering through paid announcements by an identified sponsor. According to Kotler, advertising is any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor. According to the Advertising Association of the UK, advertising is any communication, usually paid for, specifically intended to inform and/or influence one or more people. Simply, advertising is a process of developing a paid communication message intended to inform people about something or to influence them to buy, try, or do something. Advertising is a promotional activity which aims to sell a product or service to a target audience. It is one of the oldest forms of marketing which attempts to influence the actions of its target audience to either buy, sell, or do something specific. Using a highly tailored message, the advertisement can be niche, targets a small audience, or general, targets a large audience. Advertising is a lot older than most other marketing activities like email marketing and search engine marketing. Since the internet has become the norm, advertising has been divided into two fields, traditional advertising and digital advertising. Traditional advertising relates to print, TV, and radio advertisement that has been popular for over 150 years. Print advertising is the most effective advertising for businesses as it revolves around a target audience personally receiving the advertisement through flyers, newspapers, and the mail. Digital advertising revolves around any advertising activities online like display advertising, PPC, social media advertising, etc. This form of advertising is cheaper and easier to track, so it has become a more widely used form of marketing. Home Shopify blog. What is advertising? Definition and guide. What is advertising? Definition and guide. By Shopify Staff Guides. November 4, 2022. 1 minute read. Leave a comment. Email Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. What is advertising? Advertising is a marketing tactic involving paying for space to promote a product, service, or cause. The actual promotional messages are called advertisements, or ads for short. The goal of advertising is to reach people most likely to be willing to pay for a company's products or services and entice them to buy. A paid announcement, as of goods for sale, in newspapers or magazines, on radio or television, or on the internet. A public notice, especially in print. The action of making generally known, a calling to the attention of the public. The news of this event will receive wide advertisement. Advertising is a marketing tool that lets you communicate with potential customers about your products or services through paid channels. The goal of advertising for a small business may be to build brand awareness, improve your image, boost engagement, generate leads, or convert potential leads into sales. Advertising is a form of paid communication that uses media to promote your business's offerings to customers. Advertising may inform customers about your business, persuade them that your product is best, or motivate them to act, among other things. A key part of marketing and advertising is establishing who your target market is. Online advertising is one of the most common methods of getting your message out. Other channels include newspaper ads and local cable TV spots. Job advertisement is an announcement that informs people that a certain job position is available. It is written in an engaging tone and it contains information not only about the job position, but also about your company and the benefits you offer. Advertising is a powerful tool that can help you attract customers, inform them about your products and build customer trust. Most companies use some type of advertisement to help them promote their products or services. Understanding what advertising is and why it's important for organizations to use it can help you develop effective ads for your company. In this article, we explore the importance of advertising and offer some tips for how to create an effective advertisement. Advertising is any paid promotion of a product, service or idea meant to influence one or more people. It can take place on several mediums, such as print, radio, television and digital media. The main goal of advertising is to persuade someone to buy a project or perform an action. Advertising is the business of drawing people's attention to a good or service. It is a public promotion of a product, service, cause, or a movement. The promotion is done through an advertisement, advert or ad, via the media, TV, internet, newspapers, radio, trade journals, movie theaters, or billboards. Additionally, adverts appear on store windows, restaurant placemats, sporting arenas, the side of vehicles, and the side of buildings. Many companies opt for outdoor neon signs to promote their business. Advertising is usually delivered with a short film, sound recording, radio, or written notice that is presented to people. Most importantly, the aim is to encourage consumers to buy something or act in a specific way. Put simply, advertising is about telling people publicly about a good or service. Above all, the aim is to persuade people to buy something, do something, or think in a specific way. It is a marketing tactic that involves paying for space to promote a product or service. Additionally, the purpose could be to promote a cause or movement. Advertisers choose the medium most likely to hit their target audience. For example, businesses advertise in a gardening magazine to promote a lawnmower rather than in a hairdressing journal. According to the American Marketing Association, advertising is the placement of announcements and persuasive messages in time or space purchased in any of the mass media by business firms, non-profit organizations, government agencies, and individuals who seek to inform and/or persuade members of a particular target market or audience about their products, services, organizations, or ideas. There are 5 main elements of an advert. First, the headline. Second, the subhead. Third, the body copy. Fourth, the image. And finally, a call to action. In some companies, advertising is part of the marketing department. Within others firms, it is a separate unit. Some businesses contract out advertising to agencies rather than doing it in-house. We all understand why companies advertise. However, explaining what its purpose is in words is not so easy. Companies mainly advertise to make consumers aware of a product or service, as a way of convincing consumers that a product or service is just what they need, to generate desire for something. When they try to make people view a company favorably. In other words, when they want to enhance the company's image. When the aim is to tell people about new goods or services. To back up salespeople's messages. To trigger a response. For example, to get consumers to request a sample, seek more information, or order something. A way to direct consumers in the company's direction. In any type of advert, even business-to-business ones, the aim is to convince the viewer. Specifically, the advertiser wants to persuade the viewer to choose a product or service over another. Advertising is any paid form of communication from an identified sponsor or a source that draws attention to ideas, goods, services or the sponsor itself. Most advertising is directed toward groups rather than individuals, and advertising is usually delivered through media such as television, radio, newspapers and, increasingly, the Internet. Ads are often measured in impressions, the number of times a consumer is exposed to an advertisement. Advertising is a very old form of promotion with roots that go back even to ancient times. In recent decades, the practices of advertising have changed enormously as new technology and media have allowed consumers to bypass traditional advertising venues. From the invention of the remote control, which allows people to ignore advertising on TV without leaving the couch, to recording devices that let people watch TV programs but skip the ads, conventional advertising is on the wane. Across the board, television viewership has fragmented, and ratings have fallen. Print media are also in decline, with fewer people subscribing to newspapers and other print media and more people favoring digital sources for news and entertainment. Newspaper advertising revenue has declined steadily since 2001. Advertising revenue in television is also soft, and it is split across a growing number of broadcast and cable networks. Clearly, companies need to move beyond traditional advertising channels to reach consumers. Digital media outlets have happily stepped in to fill this gap. Despite this changing landscape, for many companies, advertising remains at the forefront of how they deliver the proper message to customers and prospective customers. American Marketing Association has defined advertising as any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods and services of an identified sponsor. Advertising is the dissemination of information concerning an idea, product or service to induce action in accordance with the intent of the advertiser. Advertising consists of all the activities involved in presenting to a group a non-personal, oral or visual, openly sponsored message regarding a product, service or idea. This message, called an advertisement, is disseminated through one or more media and is paid for by the identified sponsor. Advertising is any non-personal promotion of ideas, goods or services of an identified businessman known as sponsor. The message which is presented or disseminated is known as advertisement. The costs of advertisement are borne by its sponsor. Advertising is an important tool for promotion. Advertisement is a non-personal presentation of an idea or a product, whereas personal selling or salesmanship helps in the advertisement. ADE is an efficient and effective technique to promote goods, services, and ideas. It is a paid form of non-personal communication wherein business information is made available for potential customers. Advertisement is derived from the Latin word advertere, which literally means to turn the minds of, towards. Advertisement promotes and supplements selling of products, services, and ideas to a great extent. The most interesting part of an advertisement is, it carries factual information with fascinating emotional appeal. Hence, without a proper advertisement, no business can prosper. Personal promotion, advertisement supplements personal selling to a great extent. Advertising has acquired great importance in the modern era, characterized by tough competition in the market and fast changes in technology, and fashion and taste customers. Advertising is used for communicating business information to present and prospective customers. It usually provides information about the advertising firm, its product qualities, the place of availability of its products, etc. Advertisement is indispensable for both the sellers and the buyers. However, it is more important for the sellers. In the modern age of large-scale production, producers cannot think of pushing the sale of their products without advertising them. Advertising is the dissemination of information concerning an idea, product or service to induce action in accordance with the intent of the advertiser. According to William J. Stanton, advertising consists of all the activities involved in presenting to an audience a non-personal, sponsor-identified, paid-for message about a product or organization. Advertising is any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods or services of an identified sponsor. The message which is presented or disseminated is known as an advertisement. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe the channel.